In the heart of Seattle's bustling Ballard neighborhood, where old Scandinavian fishing routes were giving way to trendy breweries and high-rise condos, stood a modest little white farmhouse that looked like it belonged in a bygone era. It was 2006, and the city was booming. Real estate developers were snapping up blocks left and right, turning quiet residential streets into gleaming commercial hubs. One such project was slated for the corner of NW 46th Street, a massive 5-story retail complex, complete with big box stores, parking garages, and all the trappings of modern American shopping. But right in the middle of it all was Eleanor Hayes' house, a 2-story, 108-year-old farmhouse with peeling paint, a small front porch cluttered with flower pots, and apple trees in the backyard that she'd planted with her late husband decades ago. Eleanor was 84 years old, a widow who'd lived there since 1958 when she and her husband Tom bought it for a song, just $4,200 back then. Tom had passed in 1989 from a heart attack right there in the living room armchair while watching a Mariners game. Their only child, a daughter named Sarah, had moved to California years earlier, chasing sunshine and a tech job in Silicon Valley. Eleanor stayed put. This was home. The developers from Regency Centers came knocking first in early spring. A sharp-suited man named Mr. Harlan showed up with blueprints and a smile that didn't reach his eyes. "Mrs. Hayes," he said, tipping his imaginary hat, "we're offering $750,000 cash for your property. That's more than fair market value. You could buy a nice condo downtown, no maintenance, all the amenities." Eleanor peered at him through the screen door, her silver hair tied back in a loose bun, wearing her favorite faded housecoat. "Young man," she replied in her soft but firm voice, laced with that old Midwestern twang from her Iowa roots, "this house isn't for sale. My husband and I raised our family here. I buried him in the backyard rose garden. Well, his ashes anyway. I'm not going anywhere."
Eleanor Thompson was 72 years old, a widow living in the quiet suburb of Maplewood, Ohio, in the same 3-bedroom ranch house she and her late husband Robert had bought back in 1978. The house wasn't fancy, a modest brick home with a white picket fence, a small backyard overlooking a creek, and a living room dominated by a stone fireplace that Robert had built himself. But it was paid off, hers free and clear, and it held every memory of their 45 years together. The kids' birthday parties, Thanksgiving dinners, the night Robert proposed in the kitchen over burnt toast. Robert had passed 5 years earlier from a sudden heart attack. Eleanor had managed fine on her own at first, Social Security, a small pension from his railroad job, and some savings in conservative investments. She gardened, volunteered at the local library, and attended church every Sunday. Life was simple, peaceful. Then came the troubles with her children. She had three. Mark, the eldest at 48, a salesman who bounced between jobs. Sarah, 45, a part-time nurse with a string of bad relationships. And Emily, the youngest at 42, who had married young and divorced twice. None of them had saved much. Mark and his wife Lisa had lost their home to foreclosure during the 2008 crash and had been temporarily staying with friends ever since. Sarah's latest boyfriend had left her with credit card debt. Emily lived in a cramped apartment with her teenage son, complaining constantly about the noise from neighbors. It started innocently enough. Mark called one day. "Mom, Lisa and I are between places. Could we crash with you for a month or two, just until I close this big deal?" Eleanor, ever the nurturing mother, agreed. "Of course, honey. Family helps family." A month turned into 6. Then Sarah needed a place after her breakup. "Just temporarily, Mom, I promise." Emily followed soon after, saying her lease was up and rents were skyrocketing. Before Eleanor knew it, her quiet home was overflowing. Mark and Lisa took the master bedroom. "We need the space for our stuff, Mom." Sarah claimed the guest room. Emily and her grandson took the basement, which Eleanor had used as a sewing room. Eleanor was relegated to the small den off the kitchen, sleeping on a pull-out couch that aggravated her arthritis. At first, she didn't mind. She cooked big meals, did the laundry, paid the utilities that tripled overnight. "They're my kids," she'd tell her friend Betty over coffee. "They need me." But things changed slowly, insidiously. Mark started complaining about the TV volume. "Turn it down, Mom, I'm on a work call." He'd sprawl in Robert's old recliner, remote in hand, barking orders like he owned the place. Lisa rarely lifted a finger, spending days online shopping with Eleanor's supplementary credit card. "It's just for emergencies, but thanks, Eleanor." Sarah brought home stray boyfriends who ate everything in the fridge and left dishes piling up. Emily's grandson blasted video games until midnight, and when Eleanor gently asked for quiet, Emily snapped, "Mom, he's a teenager, deal with it." The disrespect grew. Mark would snap, "Old lady, this living room is for relaxing. Go knit in your room." Sarah mocked Eleanor's old-fashioned cooking. Lisa rolled her eyes when Eleanor mentioned her aching back from the uncomfortable couch. The finances hit hardest. Eleanor noticed her bank account dwindling. Utilities skyrocketed, internet for Mark's work, cable with premium sports packages, groceries for 7 people instead of 1. She'd gifted Mark money for a business opportunity that never panned out, helped Sarah with debt payments, covered Emily's car repairs. One evening, after a particularly rough day, Mark yelling because dinner wasn't ready fast enough, Lisa complaining about the outdated kitchen, Eleanor sat alone in the den, staring at an old photo of her and Robert on their 40th anniversary. She felt invisible in her own home, shrunk to fit everyone else's needs. That night, she couldn't sleep. At 2 a.m., she got up, made herself a cup of tea, the first one in months without someone demanding she make them one too, and opened her laptop. She searched quietly. How to protect my home from family exploitation, elder financial abuse, evicting family members. The stories she read mirrored her own. Widows pressured to sign over deeds, elderly parents supporting lazy adult children who contributed nothing. One woman wrote about freezing credit cards and serving eviction notices, reclaiming her dignity. Eleanor felt a spark, not anger exactly, resolve. The next morning, while the house was still quiet, she dressed in her best slacks and blouse, the ones she saved for church, and drove to the office of Thomas Riley, an estate attorney recommended by her library friend. Thomas was in his 50s, kind-eyed, with a no-nonsense demeanor.